Hey guys, welcome back. Gonna try and start this secondary Odyssey today, and I've been having some issues. You'll see what I mean. I got a little fuel source rigged up here. I'm gonna just try and pull and start it. It's weird because it feels like the timing is off, but these things don't really have timing. You know, it's just two-stroke, like ignition is locked in one place, you can't adjust it. So we'll see. I'll show you how it misfires. Got it on. Put a little fuel down the intake. Whew. Jeez, that's insane. So what's that about? I'm thinking about swapping this CDI unit out for the good one on my good Odyssey, though that's not, like, all our wiring's good. I don't know why CDI would do something crazy like that. That's wild. This is the CDI off my good Odyssey. You can see it actually has a brand name. Shurdengen or something. This one looks like a Chinese knockoff, the one I just took off, because there's no name here. So I know this one works. Try that. And hopefully we don't get a horrible misfire like we just did. Come on. Whew. That is really bad. Oh my gosh. Why does it misfire so badly? At this point in time, I decided I better read the manual. So I went and found myself a comfortable chair, sat down, and began to read. I read a lot, and I got really confused. My head also got super itchy, and I mean like really itchy. And then I finally found this page. And it said something I needed to know. Capacitive discharge ignition timing is not adjustable. If timing is incorrect, test the CDI unit and the AC generator and replace the faulty part. What? Well, I guess I could check the timing. See if I can show you guys. There's really no timing to check, because that tooth up top just has to interface with that line behind it, which looks dead on to me. So yeah, the timing is not adjustable. So what can we do? There's nothing we can do. We've got some wires. We've got a coil. Why would you have a misfire here? Xylo, why won't the Odyssey run? Yeah, that's what I want to do. Run away. We must go deeper. Magnet looks okay. This is my other magnet. It looks a lot better actually. So the only difference between these two is the last couple things on the part number. The original has 12T, this has a 6U. Now this is just a complete guess, but maybe this magnet lost its charge, so I'm going to throw this one on. I don't know. This is just a guess. I'm just going to throw it on there. Let's see what happens. A little fuel down the intake. That starter doesn't want to recoil now. Can you spot the problem? This one's all bent to whack. Bent. Just gotta swap this thing out. Tune in next week to Was It the Magnet? Alright, I got this on. Better put my CDI back. I haven't even checked if it spins good. Okay, let's see if it starts. And let's go. Still missing. Why? Guess we better verify our electrical. Okay, let's double check everything here. So, to test the exciter coil, we need to go between ground and black and red. So, black and red and ground, 232.9. Specified should be 245, so that's low. It's like 233, should be 245. Let's see the pulse coil between ground and blue and yellow. Ground and blue and yellow is 28, we'll call it 28 ohms. So the pulse should be between 20 and 60, 28 right in the middle. Good. Lightning coil, it's good if there's continuity between yellow and ground. So yellow and ground, 0.8 ohms. I'm just going to test this ground. The ground on the chassis, yeah, 0 ohms. That's great. So all these are good except for the exciter coil. Gonna be honest with you guys, I have been trying to figure this out for a while now. Just trying to show you the process and recheck everything. I have another exciter coil. We can check that really quick. So this is where the wire attaches, and this is the ground. So this one reads about 250, 251 ohms, which is a lot closer to the specified 245 than, what did we read over there? 230? So that one's off by 15 ohms. This one's within 5, 6 ohms. So this was the one that was in there though. And when it was misfiring, I took this out and put in another new one. Same thing. So I don't know what to do now. I don't really want to put this back in because it's not going to make it not misfire. I don't know. I do not know. On a separate note, I decided to tear down this engine that didn't run. Made a video on it. Here's a flashback. Oh, it sounds so bad. This is what's in the exhaust. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this engine was never gonna run. It's gonna be sweet though when I rebuild it. Yeah, I think I know why it doesn't run now. It's like a fingerprint right here. That thing got hot. And look at this piston ring fragment. And top of the piston edge gone. Pretty bad. I don't know if this is gonna come back. Look how wobbly this piston is back and forth. That's me twisting it. Yikes. Well, I think it's safe to say someone else has been here before me. They really liked silicone. Oof, this is a rough crankcase. It all depends how the bearings feel. I'm gonna get new bearings actually. Maybe how that bearing feels for the connecting rod, and then how the jug is doing on its inner walls, which I'm not thinking it's gonna be doing so hot. We'll see.